Everyone, this is Mike Regan here with GamingRing.com. We're here at Electronic Arts showing off the Saboteur. Mr. French,
yes.
Let's tell us about the game.
So Saboteur is a big open-world action sandbox game set in Nazi-occupied Paris during the World War II. Our hero, Sean Devlin, he's a race car driver turned saboteur, which is actually inspired by stuff going on in there. Inspired by a real race car driver turned mechanic from World War II named William Grover Williams. But we really wanted to make a game not about the war. We didn't want to do a soldier story, so we wanted to make something that's kind of bigger than life and kind of heightened action. And so basically, Sean's story is of vengeance. He goes over to Germany for a race, and then somebody close to him is killed, like after the race. What seems innocent goes wrong, basically. And then he flees into France and heads into Germany, or into Paris. And he hides out in this cabaret brothel, actually, that you can see in that shot right there, called the Belle de Nuit. And then from there, basically, he just meets the resistance. He doesn't care about the war. He's Irish. We separated him from the war with that. He's neutral. And eventually works with the resistance and becomes a hero, and ultimately his quest is to get vengeance.
Now, one of the things that struck me about the game was the art style. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how that came about?
So we knew we were going to build Paris, and when you think about Paris, if you close your eyes, you get this image of this beautiful, vibrant, colorful city. Doesn't feel occupied. If you put Nazis in there, it just felt kind of out of place. And so the idea was to really, for us, we started talking about, we'll make less people and stuff, but sucking the life out of it. And then that leads to this idea of wow, let's really suck the life out of it and suck the color out of it too. So that basically became the basis for the will to fight. And so when you're in a heavy occupied area, it's black and white with the reds, the kind of Sin City inspired reds, and the colors popping through. But as you do these big missions in the game and these big grand acts of defiance, as I like to say, you'll inspire the people, and that color will bleed back out into the world, and then that'll also end up leading to the resistance actually joining you. So actually you'll get in firefights with the resistance on your side in the streets.
Now, how long is the story? How long should the players expect to play the game?
So right now we're shooting for, it looks like it's basically about between 15 and 20 hours. It can be a lot more because there's actually a lot of content to do even in between missions. There's a whole world to explore. There's a main story mission of vengeance, but then there's also side missions off of that. So, I mean, honestly, the player could play for a long time. I have fun just having shootouts in the streets and rooftops with the Nazis, so you could play it for as long as you want, almost in a way.
Now, basically, you can go anywhere in the city. So, for example, you can climb the Eiffel Tower.
Absolutely. That was the Eiffel Tower is once we decided, we saw Paris, and you're like, okay, beautiful monuments, great. Twisty streets, great. Wow, look at those rooftops. They were really inspiring. I was like, I want to run on those. And it was right around the time, too, that, right after that was the whole parkour thing kind of started to become really big. And we'd already started doing all that stuff because it's just a whole world to explore. So now we have the streets and the roofs, and there's gameplay everywhere. So, you can climb there, and yeah, of course, once that happened, we had it in the game. We're like, I want to climb the Eiffel Tower and jump off of it if I feel like it. So yeah, you can absolutely do it.
Very cool. Now, is there a main bad guy in the game? Is there a person who's controlling all the strings and responsible for the unfortunate demise of your friend?
Yeah, so there's Dierker, and what's funny is what's kind of cool is we set him up a bit as he's actually a rival racing team member too, but he's also a Nazi because he's the Doppelsieg team, we call them, which is inspired by the Mercedes of the war. The Mercedes was making armaments for the Nazis. They were making tanks and military vehicles, and so we loved that kind of story elements to that, and Mercedes was dominating the circuit at that time, and Bugatti was this kind of former champion team, and so we kind of put those ideas together. So you have this rivalry as a racer that you hate because he's a jerk. He's just a jerk. There's no better way to describe him. But then he's also a Nazi, and then yes, it kills your friend, and that leads you towards this quest of vengeance. And yeah, he's great. He's a great villain. It's classic.
Tom, it's been a pleasure. Thank you.